So, you mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led! The bastards that killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay! You. All that power. All that pain. It's too much. Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why? Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
Did you miss me, boys and girls?
Yeah.
Jeez, that was a long, quite depressing one actually as well.
That might be the prison.
Yeah, that was the
one.
prison cutscene.
Yeah,
Starting
I
echo,
thought
starting echoes off an echo now.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. Yeah. Am I in for another long cutscene?
The one I just got out of it's not like a voice acted one.
Fair enough. As long as it's not voice acted, I don't have to actually mute up. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot when we ended the thing last year in that session early last year. We were actually kind of the early half of patch 4.1 of Stormblood, so we're now kind of getting to the mid-latter half now.
Yeah.
Which will be...
Oh, so you were mentioning something earlier on Discord about a new feature or something in the game with.
Yeah, it's something that didn't actually get released till like back end of Endwalker, which has been going on. But yeah, the adventure plate thing, and then now when you go and queue up for anything in a duty finder, you have a separate portrait thing that can give you the option to show, which of course you can also choose to turn it off if necessary, that it shows a portrait of each character that they pick for the job that they're going as.
Okay.
So you can basically go in and edit a separate portrait section for each job depending on which one you have, because it's got like one portrait per job, as by the sounds of it. At least for the ones that you have unlocked and whatever gear you're wearing.
Fair enough.
And then the venture place got a separate portrait for itself that you would edit for that. That's something that other people can see at any time when they, like, if they like click on a character and they want to do something like invite to a party normally or invite to a link shell. There's also an option that says view their adventurer plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I did want to get your thoughts on 16 because I'll be honest. Every time I've seen gameplay and stuff, I actually lose interest with it.
I haven't really seen much of the 16 like videos and stuff, so I can't really give an honest opinion.
It's looking a bit. I don't. For me, it looks a bit like a mixture between like Souls-like games and maybe a bit of Devil May Cry slipped in there.
Of course, the other thing for me is that I think it's only probably on PS5 if I'm not correct, isn't it?
Might be PC as well.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because that would also make it more difficult for me to get, because I don't even have a PS5 yet, so, yeah.
I say we got pretty lucky with a bit of a sale going on here, but the actual price of the systems are ridiculous. The fact that they still haven't really gone down in price in the last 3 years or whatever they've been out is ridiculous at this point. Fucking scalpers, man.
Yeah. Yeah, COVID certainly didn't help that with the...
No, it really didn't. Mind you, both Sony and Xbox did the same thing where they just didn't manufacture enough systems for people.
Yeah. So then when COVID hit, when you made a shortage on things like the superconductor thing, which you kind of needed for the system, or whatever the part it was that they really needed that was in short supply because of COVID. And it's just like, oh, jeez. Yeah, even though you weren't able to be there because you were having problems with the whole night during the Night of Champions.
Oh, fucking hell, it was a nightmare that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually pretty happy with Night of Champions, honestly.
I only caught like the last, not even the second half of the show. I got like the last third of it.
Yeah.
It just was a.
I do like the fact that Seth Rollins is defending the belt constantly instead of having, part-time Roman who always...
Yeah, sorry, that was what we were talking about earlier, wasn't it? The titles. Yeah. My thing with what you said earlier about the whole thing with Rock Hogan and then Triple H Jericho going on last. I mean, I get where you were coming from with that, and I actually do agree. But the problem for me was when it came to this to the Seth AJ matches. This was basically bringing back establishing a new championship thing. This should have been a bigger deal than it ended up being, because it had a couple of weeks of build up with a couple of decent matches and stuff. But they should have either just shot their load early at Backlash main event, or they could have even fingered it out to SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's more of a timing thing.
I guess. I really didn't like it going on first, with it being an establishment of a new title, even though obviously they're using the old World Heavyweight Championship lineage now.
I wasn't really as bothered by that first thing, because it's like...
I know, I'm just very fucking nitpicky.
Yeah, the way that Night of Champions card was pretty stacked as far as what went on that night, and something was going to have to go first.
Yeah,
I think freaking... From a thing to get everybody to watch first, it actually was a decent idea, because, if you want to see this, you better tune in right away, sort of thing.
I guess, but I
honestly, those non-title matches or whatever other ones that weren't like the big ones, or the big matches, period, probably, I mean, who cares if those go on first? Because one of them was, Ripley against Natalya, which turned into a squash match, which I was actually okay with, because...
It was fucking Natalya.
Yeah, I mean, there was virtually no build for that anyway, so it's like, when I saw it was a squash match, I thought, okay, it actually kind of pretty much made sense, so I was okay with that. You had the other one, the Cody Brock thing. I really did not care if that would have led the show, because it's like, that's not for a title, but it's like, you know, for the story, it's probably better at least the middle of the show for that one, just to spread it out between the big three that they had that night.
Again, though, if you're gonna do it that way, I mean, I still say, I mean, fair enough. It's just like, for me, I should point out, I only caught, like I said, the last couple of matches of the show, so I didn't actually get to watch see if any of them were good. To be honest, I didn't even go back and watch the show from the beginning, so I don't know. I just, if they really couldn't afford to put Roman's match in anything but the main event, they didn't want to put the title on last at that show, then just wait it out till the next pay-per-view or something.
Yeah.
What was the main event? Actually, I can't even remember.
The main event was KO Zayn versus Reigns and Sikola match.
That was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well, the one that was last on the show, rather.
Well, it's the main event. The last match is the main event.
Yep.
Regardless of what fucking things they might try to push, is like, oh, this is a double main event, or every match is a main. No, the last match is the main event.
Yeah, that one they were doing something called a triple main event.
Yeah,
that was
it's
basically
bullshit.
the Rollins and AJ was one, Cody Lesnar was the other one, and then the tag match was the other one.
It's basically like giving, it's basically like going to like a kid's sports day, and there's obviously a couple of kids that are really good at everything, but they give everybody a participation award. You're all winners. No, you're fucking not. You're all main eventers. No, you're not. There's one main event. It's the last fucking match on the card.
Yeah, as far as Seth, like the way he's currently defending the belt, as I mentioned before, and plus recently he just had a match with Damian Priest, who was...
I did see part of that match.
Yeah, Priest has actually been getting quite a bit of praise over the time when he's been doing his matches recently, including like the one with Bad Bunny.
I did see that match. It was actually, well, we watched it, didn't we? We watched it live. It was,
that was on Backlash.
Yeah, we did the watch along.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like, okay, you get him into a title match here, even though he'd lose, he comes out strong, and then you have the whole thing where the story developing where maybe there's a little bit of friction between him and Judgment Day, and I know they mentioned about Judgment Day wanting to get a new member in there, and it makes me wonder if it's going to come expensive and perhaps maybe getting resentful toward him and kicking him out, at least storyline-wise.
Who would you actually put in the Judgment Day, then, if they were going to take Priest out?
From what I'm hearing, they were talking this guy that was... I think it was one of the guys they called from NXT, JD McDonough, I think was his name.
Dude, I haven't watched NXT since before 2.0, so...
Well, I only know him because of what I've been hearing. I didn't really watch NXT either. It's just... It was from the people they, quote-unquote, called up during the draft or whatever.
I mean, I'm just trying to think of, like, the roster and somebody who could maybe...
Because there was a scene there where I think it was... I can't remember which show it was. The one that he's on currently, he was... I'm saying, it would have been Raw, because then the same one as Finn Balor is on. Balor was in like a scene at the end of a JD McDonough, like kind of a backstage thing. He kind of came in at the end there. It's like, maybe scouting for a potential member here.
Do you know who I'd actually put in the Judgment Day? Karrion Kross.
Yeah, that would be a bad choice either.
Yeah. Give him something to do, because he's being pretty fucking left to the wayside, unfortunately. But
yeah, I know now they got him going against AJ Styles on SmackDown.
Oh, actually, that could actually be a pretty good. That could be a good
he did
feud.
Kind of show up yesterday night SmackDown when it was supposed to be Mia Yim against whoever she was against for one of the Money in the Bank qualifiers, and Scar kind of showed up and kind of threw powder in Styles' face while he was at the table being interviewed by the announcing guys.
She's been in Hulk Hogan's duffel bag.
Yeah, and then freaking Cross came by and did one of his moves on him. So kind of showing that feud may be continuing a bit. That's
I might actually have to check that out.
Yeah, that's
AJ,
really my
Karen?
problem with. Yeah, that's really my problem with Karrion Kross too. Is that he hasn't been used enough. It seems like he gets beaten by a wrestler, and then moves on to another one.
Yeah, that's the problem. They first brought him in against McIntyre, and actually had a decent feud, but he always kept fucking losing matches. It was you've got to let a guy win occasionally.
One thing I'm kind of getting tired, honestly, is the whole thing with the U.S. Championship belt with Austin Theory. Every time he wins it, it's always because somebody else interferes with an opponent. I guess I get that it's all because, they're trying to advance another storyline for the opposition, but okay, for once, if you're going to have them win at least one or two of these, have them win them clean or without bullshit happening to the other side, that he just swoops in and gets the win at the end, because that's just getting old.
Unfortunately, it's one of those tried and true methods when it comes to wrestling booking, is they're going to have the cowardly heel win by nefarious means, like interference and all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm at the chamber rule now, so I don't know if
It's
this
really
is...
his... I mean, who even cares about his fucking reign? It's nothing but a total joke, honestly. And you want to make it look better. Yeah, actually have him win clean for once or twice.
I'm currently in a voice that's a cutscene over, so I'm going to have to mute up.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Uldar home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Rauban chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Okay, back in.
Welcome back here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I forgot last year when we did, when we last left off last year, we had done the dungeon. Now it's actually the early part of patch 4.1 for Stormblood, so you're kind of still in the early half. I thought we were later than that, but like, oh, right.
Yeah, we to be fair though, like, I remember saying, like, last time we were doing this, that at that point in time with updates and stuff, we were literally, like, story-wise and stuff at the halfway mark. Obviously, things have changed since then, since more's been added, but...
Well, yeah.
I keep forgetting I can't get my fucking chocobo in here.
Well, the other thing, too, is that I remember during that last session we did early last year, is that we kind of went into the second half of Stormblood, even though technically, I mean, even though if we were going to originally, you just kind of felt like doing so.
That was my goal, because if you remember, like, we missed out on the entire month of
oh yeah, because of the whole
playtime
Endwalker release.
Endwalker's release, and like fucking thousands of people in the queue. It was ridiculously bad. And I only had, like, what was it? I had a 2-month subscription or something.
Yeah, something
like
I
that.
think it was a 3-month.
It might have been free, but we completely missed out on that
we
first
lost a month. Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the other things that I didn't mention that changed since then. They did update the data centers and stuff and places. They have another data center on the North American servers.
Yeah, I was looking earlier because I for the life of me I couldn't remember which thing we went on.
Yeah.
And I went for a few of them, and I was thinking, wait, didn't they used to be 3 instead of 4?
Yeah, there was only 3. They added Dynamis, which has basically 4 new worlds onto it. Unlike with Crystal, when they introduced that one, they basically took worlds from both Primal and Aether data centers that already were in existence and just put them on the freaking Crystal to make up Crystal. Well, Dynamis, all the 4 worlds on there are all brand new. So
to be fair, like 14 is probably the most popular MMO on the planet now. I think it might have overtaken WoW at this point. So
that wouldn't surprise me because part of that is freaking WoW people moving over there because maybe not being as happy with WoW as it's been used to be. Because
I've had maybe 18 hours in total in WoW from years ago. It was fine for what it was, but it wasn't really what I was looking for in a video game and stuff. When it came to MMOs, the only reason I even got into this one is because this is perfect also for single player as well. So
right, yeah.
we talked about
stuff about it.